Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and stay tuned by clicking the bell icon. Benedict's storybook romance can bring fairy tale magic to Bridgerton's Ton fairy tales have a long-standing history on TV, and Benedict's romance with Sophie Beckett on Bridgerton should be the next addition to the catalog. Bridgerton can cash in on the fairy tale fanfare currently circulating its Ton if it features Benedict Bridgerton's love story sooner than later. A Bassett family update on Queen Charlotte. A Bridgerton story teases how the romance series timeline has persisted since Anthony and Kate's enemies to lovers season ended. Along with what's known about season 3's plot, that adjusted timeline may favor bringing elements of Julia Quinn's An Offer from a Gentleman to the Netflix series' upcoming season. If that's even minutely true, Bridgerton can add to its arsenal of romance tropes with the tried and true ones in Cinderella. Fans of Julia Quinn's books will know all too well that Benedict's story, the third in the series, retells the classic fairy tale. With conversations swirling about Joan Howard King, who plays Prince Eric in the live-action The Little Mermaid, playing an older iteration of Gregory, it's easy to understand why Bridgerton fans want to add more fairy tale romance to the show. Daphne's season is a nice introduction to the show's Ton, and Anthony's season turns the angst and tension up to 11. But Benedict's story could cut through that and add some new magic to Bridgerton. Fairy tales stand the test of time because they evolve through generations, so Bridgerton can add its flair to a tale as old as time with Benedict's story. Even before Bridgerton takes a spin at its fairy tale retelling, TV's history proves that kind of storytelling and romance are a match made in heaven. 2011 was a notable year in the relationship between fairy tales and television because Grimm premiered on NBC and Once Upon a Time on ABC. The former is a 6-season mystery that sees Detective Nick Burkhart protect the world from creatures eerily similar to the Brothers Grimm's folk tales. Its tenure sees a complicated and slow-burn relationship form between Nick and Adeline Shade. Alternatively, Once Upon a Time is a 7-season, family-friendly fantasy series where fairy tales and the modern world collide in Storybook. It even spawned a 1-season spin-off, Once Upon a Time in Wonderland. It's challenging to imagine the original show and not think of the impact of Captain Swan, the relationship between heroine Emma Swan and Captain Hook. More recently, 2018's psychological thriller Tell Me a Story takes the darker route to its retellings of fairy tales like Little Red Riding Hood and Sleeping Beauty and the romances in them. Now that those shows are over, Bridgerton can fill a void they left behind in retelling fairy tale stories on the small screen. Fairy tales stand the test of time because of their ability to evolve through generations. Who's to say it isn't time for another take on Cinderella? In An Offer from a Gentleman, Benedict falls head over heels in love with Sophie Beckett at a masquerade ball. However, he doesn't know that the masked woman is Sophie or how she fits, or doesn't, into society. The plot that ensues sees Benedict and Sophie reconnect years later and face the societal struggles that come with loving someone from a different class, as the story initially reveals Sophie as a bastard daughter of an earl. Consequently, her evil stepmother and 2 stepsisters belittle Sophie as a servant until that fateful night when love at first sight gains a new meaning. Bridgerton prepares Benedict for his arc in An Offer from a Gentleman, and for Sophie, since its debut season. The romance show's sophomore season only shines a brighter light on the character's appeal as a good man and how he fills the role of a confidant for Anthony in Simon's absence. Benedict's narrative in Bridgerton Season 2 shows him as a nobleman with passions, romantically and professionally, that extend beyond societal expectations. Though not the season's romantic lead, the show manages to constructively redefine Benedict's purpose, which builds up to that heart-stopping introduction and hits a familiar snag in how it will tell this story now that it has switched the source material's order to feature Colin Bridgerton and Penelope Featherington's friends-to-lovers story in Season 3. Like Eloise and Francesca, Benedict's romance spans years in the books. Benedict and Sophie don't meet again until 2 years after their intimate dance at the ball Kate and Anthony throw. If Benedict takes his spot as the romantic hero, Bridgerton continually showcases him as in Season 4 or a hopeful Season 5. The 3rd season should include clues to the fairy tale romance that awaits him with Sophie Beckett. Bridgerton's success shows the benefits of investing in romance, and TV's history details the long-standing interest in modern fairy tales. Combining the two in Benedict and Sophie's relationship is a win-win Bridgerton should actualize soon. Perhaps there is a masquerade ball in Poland's future that sets Benedict in motion. Should they consult a magic mirror? If you like the video, don't forget to like, comment, and share.